Aloha everybody and welcome back to part 8 of Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal. We just finished up with the robot facility and now we're moving on to the facility race, which is the third and final race that Sonic will have with another character. And I do like these levels quite a bit. It looks like this control terminal is being controlled remotely, from 10,000 feet above the ground. Bet that's where Lyric's hiding. Fascinating. Okay, sir, thanks a lot. Any other info you need from that gizmo? No, I got what we needed. Then stand back and let me show you why I'm called Knuckles. Because you have those pointy knuckle things on your gloves? Huh? Oh, I get it. You know what? That makes more sense. I thought it was because I smash stuff, but then I guess they'd call me Smashels. Haha, haha. Smashels, when you're done smashing that terminal, I've got something else you can try and smash. Cool! What is it? Not what? Who? It's Metal Sonic, and he's coming in fast! Metal Sonic? What are you doing here? There's only one person who could be behind Metal Sonic's appearance, and, without naming names, he has a really stupid mustache. Metal Sonic! Protect the factory and eliminate Sonic and his friends! And that was it, folks. That little silhouette on the computer monitor, that is Dr. Eggman's only appearance in Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal. The only reason he's in this game is to justify a race against Metal Sonic at some point during this adventure, because he's not the villain, he has nothing to do with what's going on in the story, and that's it. Why is Metal Sonic in this race? An Eggman did it. Hey. But yeah, we got ourselves another race, and again, just like the previous races, and unlike Sonic CD, or Sonic Generations, or any of the other Metal Sonic races we've seen up to this point, you don't have to worry about him attacking you. He's not going to be bursting really fast with a big boost of speed, and he'll damage you if you run into him. He's not going to turn this electric field on that will damage you if you touch him. No, no, no. You just have to get to the exit before he does, and then you're all good as gold. And, yeah. Follow the path with rings, go for the shortcuts, and you'll beat Metal Sonic no problem. Although he does feel a lot faster than Knuckles and Styx did. This is the hardest race in the game. Not that I've had a lot of trouble beating this stage. I still beat this stage no problem, but, yeah. You know, I remember when Metal Sonic was kind of a rare fight. He was kind of a rare occurrence. You know, he didn't just show up in every single game. Do you remember, like, the Adventure era when, like, he was just in a tube in Sonic Adventure 1 and Final Egg? He was multiplayer in Sonic Adventure 2, but he wasn't part of the story. He was a big thing in Sonic Heroes, because he was part of the story in that, but then, like, Unleashed, he wasn't in it. Sonic 06, he wasn't in it. Colors, he wasn't in it. Black Knight, Secret Rings. You know, Metal Sonic was kind of left for, like, special occasions. He was left for, like, okay, we got the 20th anniversary game, Generations, gotta bring back Metal Sonic for that. You know, he wasn't in the Rush games, he wasn't in the Advance games. And then Sonic 4 Episode 2, they're like, well, we're coming back to Sonic 4, we're going back to the classic Sonic formula, we gotta bring back Metal Sonic. And then he was back. And he wasn't in Lost World. But now it's just like, okay, we need him back for Sonic Boom. Now we need him in the 3DS Sonic Boom game. Okay, now we need to have him in the Lego game. Now we need to have him back for Sonic Mania. Now we need to have him back for Sonic Forces. And it's just like, ah. I remember when Metal Sonic was kind of a rare thing, a kind of special little event. But, he's always showing up all the time now. Again, I'm just baffled at the Dr. Eggman decision. Like, that was it. That's literally the only time we see Dr. Eggman. The characters just said that they're going to go to some volcano area because they saw Metal Sonic go that way. But we don't run into Metal Sonic again. Like, that's it. He's gone. We're never going to catch up with him. The only reason we're going to this area is to find a plane that will take us to where Lyric is. And then Metal Sonic and Eggman were just completely dropped from the story. They were just introduced for this one race, and that's it. Oh, and by the way, I'm back at Tails' workshop. I'm taking all the blueprints that I've collected up to this point to help out a little bit and get myself an extra attack. A very useful attack for the shield enemies, anyway. But now I know where ring and shield locations are on the adventure map. So, you know, in case you're having trouble looking for rings, those things that are on every single pathway and every single level, you lose 25% less rings when damaged now, so I'm not going to be scattering a whole bunch whenever I get hit. Not that I found the game all that challenging up to this point, but still nice to have. But this is the real thing, Mega Grapple. Instantly destroys an enemy after grappling off its shield. So anytime you see an enemy with a big force field, you'll use the enter beam to pull it off, but instead of just pulling off the shield, you will effectively kill the enemy right then and there. Speeds up the process so much. And, yeah. We only have 2 more upgrades to go, and if you pay attention to the collectibles at the top of the screen, we have 30 of 40 crystals. We have only, like, 12 blueprints left to collect. If you do the math, that basically means that we only really have 2 adventure levels left to go. You know, I stopped doing the backtracking around part 5. That's when I finally started going into the levels proper again. And, you know, when you're not having to backtrack, when you are getting every single collectible in every single stage in one go, it's actually kind of surprising how quickly the levels go by, because there's only 8 adventure levels in the whole entire game. There's 3 races, there's a final boss with Lyric coming up, 8 adventure levels, and for every single map, there is a tunnel worm segment. So, yeah, we only have 2 more levels to go. I told you, this playthrough is going to be done before October ends. It's going to be ending this week. This playthrough is ending this week, because we're pretty close to the end of the game. We only have 2 more levels left to go. And, yeah, pretty good, pretty fantastic. Oh, look, once again, we're tracking down Amy's signal through her data logs. Again. The point is, in this volcanic area, there's a whole bunch of planes that the ancients used to have, and we're going to go pick up that plane so that we can fly to where Lyric is, miles high in the sky above where the robot facility is. Again, the big bad plan of Lyric is that he wants to find all of the shattered crystal fragments that we've been collecting throughout the whole entire game so that he can reassemble the big crystal so that he'll conquer the world, I guess. I don't know. This game's not really story-heavy, despite having a lot of text cutscenes. It's just, apparently, once Lyric gets that crystal, he'll be able to destroy the world, or conquer it, or I don't know. What's he gonna power with that crystal? Does the crystal have, like, a doomsday mind control element to it? Is it magic? What's he gonna use the crystal for? I don't know. But he apparently, if he gets it, you know, the world's fucked, and he wins. So... And Sonic is collecting these pieces because there's invisible gateways preventing him from going to other levels. There's not even a plot reason for it, you know? Finding all the blueprints and finding all the crystals, there's not even a plot reason why we can't move on to the next level. It's just kind of weird. I don't know. Video gamey stuff, I suppose, but yeah. Again, the only appearance of Dr. Eggman just before we took on Metal Sonic. It's like it's just baffling to me that the week that the show debuted, the same week that the show debuted, they released 2 games. One game has Eggman in it constantly because, of course, he's the villain of the main TV show. He's the villain of the series. And this 3DS game is just like, nah, we don't need Dr. Eggman. Now, let's just make this about Lyric, and make it all about Sonic trying to stop Lyric, a character who's not in the TV show. So, Dr. Eggman doesn't really show up much, if at all, in Shattered Crystal, aside from before the Metal Sonic race. And it's just, it's peculiar. It's peculiar decisions, you know? Very peculiar decisions when they were making these Sonic Boom games, let me tell ya. Either way. This is the Volcano level. This is actually my favorite level in the whole entire game. I think this is when the difficulty actually starts to rise, and it actually starts to throw in a lot more bottomless pits and a lot more character-centric platforming, where, like, there's a lot of wind turbines in the volcano level, and you constantly need to drop down as Tails so that the wind will carry you closer to another zip hook, so that you can get over the lava and reach rails and reach platforms and stuff that the other characters will just pass through. So if you're like really going super fast through this game and you're not really paying attention, if you're playing a Sonic, Knuckles, or Sticks, and you're just like jumping down holes without really looking, you'll go right past the wind where the wind turbine's blowing, and then you'll fall in the lava and you'll respawn exactly at the platform that you jumped from, unless you have no rings, in which case you'll die. But the platforming's getting a little tighter in this game now. The platforming's getting a little tougher. Not that this game gets, like, super impossible in the last 2 levels or anything. It just gets a little bit harder so that the game starts getting a little more interesting to me. Like, I think the platforming's a lot better when you actually have to air dash through a block to go to a rail, otherwise you'll fall in the lava. Like, any of these jumps that I don't make, if I don't make these jumps, I'll just fall into the lava, and then I'll go kick back to where we started from. And it really is where you started from. For some reason, whenever you fall into, like, a body of water, acid, lava, it always kicks you back to the ground that you were standing on before you made the jump into all of these places. And rails do not count. So if you go from rail to rail to rail to rail, and then you screw up and land in the lava, you actually go, like, miles back to where the first part of ground you was, and where you were standing on before you started going down all those rails. So you can actually go back quite a distance if you fall in the lava, and your character just sort of zips all the way back super, super quickly, and it's kind of amazing, but, yeah. And look at that! The shield enemies, I just kill them in one hit. Just kill them in one hit. They have another ability that you get for getting every single blueprint in the game, and it would have been nice to have it earlier, but again, you need to have every single blueprint in the game, which means you need to have found all of the emblems regarding blueprints through every single level. You have to have reached the final boss before you get this upgrade, and the final upgrade you get for collecting every single blueprint is the ability to boost through enemies and just kill them right then and there. So, like, if they don't have a shield, if they're just some walker thing or just something you can homing attack, and you're holding the Y button down, Sonic actually gets this aura around him. It's sort of like a boost aura, I suppose, where, like, you just run into enemies and they die. You just run into them and they die. You don't go faster than you did before. You're still going at the same speed as we are right now, but you'll just kill things by simply running into them, and it makes the levels go by a lot quicker. But again, you have to have played every single level in the game and found every single blueprint just to have that ability, so it's only for post-game replays when you're just going back to previous levels. But again, if you're going back to previous levels, chances are it's only to find items, and if I have all the items, why do I want to go back and play previous levels? I wouldn't, because this game's not that interesting or super, super fun, so why would I want to do that? It would have been more interesting if, like, every 6 blueprints, you got to choose what upgrade you got to make. Like, if you got to select from a list of things that you wanted to collect. You know, sort of like RPGs, where they have, like bonus points, like ability points, and it says, like, okay, if you want to have this devastating takedown move with Batman in Batman Arkham City, then you need to spend 6 ability points in this particular tree, as opposed to this particular tree, you know? And then you can get the kind of abilities and the kind of upgrades that you want. But Sonic Boom Shadow Crystal is very linear like this. They don't allow you to just have whatever blueprint in whatever order that you want. So that boost ability, which would have been super nice to have, which would have been nice to show off in this Let's Play, I don't get it until I'm at the end of the game, and it's just like, I haven't talked about this part here. Every time you go from, like, the foreground areas to the background areas, and by the way, I like the dark lighting contrasted with the giant orange, you know, lava area going on in the background. Again, I saw this in DuckTales Remastered with that particular final stage as well, but I'm always cool when they do art changes like that. But yeah, whenever you transition from, like, a foreground to a background element, you actually have to use the stylus on the bottom screen and pull down the ring, which is supposed to be your tether, and you pull it all the way down to the bottom of the screen, and then you let go, and the character goes flinging to the next destination. Now, in order to save time so that I don't have to keep picking up my stylus, because, like, I have my hands on the buttons, I have my hands on all the controls, and every time I come up to these parts, I have to stop what I'm doing, grab the stylus, put it on the ring, put it down, and then put the stylus back on the bed or the table or whatever I'm playing with. So instead, what I like to do is I just use my thumb, and I just, like, drag my thumb to where the bottom screen is, press my thumb where the ring is, drag it down the bottom screen, let go, boom. That's how I do it super, super quick. I'm not actually using the stylus, I'm using my thumb. And I know there are some people who really, really don't like that. People who get really, really bothered when they hear that you put your fingers on the bottom screen as opposed to the stylus, because that means I'm putting my greasy... my greasy fingerprint DNA all over the screen, and I might smudge the screen with my greasy fingers. Clement, I know you ate at KFC the other day. You're gonna put your chicken-filled fingers all over my bottom screen. It's gonna make the screen look all weird. Ah! I have clean fingers, I'll let you know. Anywho, folks, that was the Volcano level. I'll see you when we move on to the final map in Part 9.